I also happen to know how a lot of our youth have been criminalized for very small amounts of marijuana, and I think that's completely wrong. If it was something that I'd had an opportunity to address directly, absolutely. I don't think it's right. I think it's wrong, and I think it's wrong mostly because our kids are the ones that are the targets of these arrests. It's directly correlated to places like the 79th District, East New York, Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Harlem. You know, these things are affecting our children directly. So I would support any legislation to put a stop to that. Not that I'm a advocate for any level of drug use, but I mean, let's face it, you know, some seniors in the complex have probably had some cataracts and addressed them with small amounts. And I'm being silly right now, but yes, indeed, I'm very big on not having our children being subject to these laws that incriminate them once they come under the scrutiny of police.
The question is for all candidates. Will you sponsor legislation to legalize possession of small amounts of marijuana in New York State?
I'm with Fred. I don't think it's right that people are getting convicted on small amounts of marijuana. I think that if anything, they should have like some type of program for the people that are getting arrested with the small amount if they get arrested more than 1 or 2 times. I agree with Fred, and with whatever the question is, I will support it.
Mr. Blake?
The legislature through the governor just moved forward in legislation to decriminalize marijuana, which I am supportive of that. You know, look, we understand, as other states have demonstrated, as mentioned, too often these are rules that are being put in place to put these young people in jail, you know, and to negatively impact what's happening. Now, there's different regulations that are still being determined on this. You know, it's similar to the crack versus powder cocaine dynamic that's happening. It makes no sense at all that one race is going to jail for longer periods of time over another. Like, you know, we're creating a dynamic that's negatively impacting a particular community. And so when it's done responsibly and clearly for health reasons, yes, there should be ability for individuals to have responsible usage and dosages of medical marijuana. We see that to be the case. And equally beyond that, how to find opportunities to decriminalize amounts of it, you know, no question. And we've seen that starting to happen here in the state. But again, we just need to make sure it's done responsibly.
Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm going to be the bad guy on this one. If it's an illegal substance, it's an illegal substance. Okay? If it's going to be approved, okay, like, you know, Mr. Blake just announced that the Governor Cuomo is moving forward on a particular piece of legislation to legalize for the use of seniors or anyone that is sick, okay? That's a different level. But when it comes to our youth, the reality is that it's illegal. I've never smoked marijuana. I'm born and raised here. I went to elementary, middle school, high school. I went to James Monroe High School, okay, in 172nd and Boynton. All right, a lot of my friends smoke every day, sold it every day, okay, but I didn't. Why? Because of the values that my family told me, okay, values that I came from my grandparents, from my mother, from my father. So therefore, if it is approved, I will definitely fight, okay, and stand up and say, you know, we need to put more into it, okay? We need to regulate it more, okay? So there has to be, if it's 1 offense, 2 offense, you know, like Ms. Jones mentioned, there should be a program in place, okay? Not that you're going to go to jail, but there should be a program in place so you learn how to do it again, okay? Because today you sell 1 bag, tomorrow you sell 2, tomorrow you sell 4, and then, you know, it's the same kid that is, you know, probably robbing one of our seniors on the street 2 or 3 weeks later, okay? And the reality is a lot of our kids. And I have 4 daughters being raised in the Bronx, and I don't want my daughter